And happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Plug Talk Sports live show, episode 146. I am here. I am back. Uh, it's been about, I think, like 2 weeks now, but I am back from Canada. I was here the past week, but it was my birthday weekend, and I kind of took the Monday off to finish off the birthday weekend. But thankfully for me, Jonka and Brandon held down the fort, and of course myself, Danny Torres. Here we are, back in another Monday night, fellas. Welcome back to the pod. Uh, let's get into our shameless plugs and plugs of the week. What did you guys do last week? Did you guys do good or bad first?
I think we did bad first, I think.
Okay, so we'll start with good. Jonka, talk to me.
Yep. All right. If I don't know if any of you saw the game, but the WNBA All Star Weekend was this past weekend, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Alicia Gray, she becomes the first player to win the skills challenge and the 3-point challenge on the same night. She won 115K, by the way, which is basically her annual salary. So she got a big bonus. And then especially for the All Star game, obviously Caitlin Clark, she breaks the rookie all time assist record. Angel Reese, first rookie to get a double double in the All Star game, crazy. But shout out to this girl, bro, Arike Agumbawale went absolutely crazy. I was sitting here at home watching the game, and she couldn't miss in the second half. 0 points in the first half, but went out for 34 points in the second half. And, bro, she had to be on cloud 9, bro. Bro, she could not miss, Daniel. I can't emphasize this to you enough. Great, one of the best All-Star weekends I've ever seen. Holy, bro. Great start.
That's come from a WNBA game, too. Hey, but also the best part about that, though, the last time the women's national team lost against the WNBA team in the All-Star, they went on to win the Olympics, so some good signs there. But I would say best thing for me, and I do have to say this is a very historic event. I'm not a very political guy, but a men's basketball player is going to be the flag bearer at the Olympics for the first time ever, and it's LeBron James. Not a big LeBron over Jordan thing, but leaving the last person to do that, you can't. So he is the Olympic GOAT, but honestly, I just love the fact that LeBron James finally got that and potentially his last Olympics.
Oh, 100%.
Yep.
For me, it's going to have to go. I mean, it wasn't this past week, but it's going to have to go back to our trip. I say our because Jonko was there, but our trip to Canada to celebrate my birthday. I think this is something that Brandon would have enjoyed as well. We went to the National Hockey Hall of Fame, and there is a 3D movie there called Game 7. And I thought that this was going to be some Game 7 or whatever. It happened to be these kids who live in Canada, and they show up to the ice rink, and they're like, all right, let's make this Game 7. And they're playing for like a little miniature Stanley Cup. And, man, I forgot who it was that was watching the entire time. There was, I forgot his name, but Brandon will probably know who I'm talking about. He is the Stanley Cup keeper. He's watching in disguise the entire time. And they show you, like, the game, and then the kids are imitating, certain players' moves throughout the game from history. And at the end, the team that wins, this guy comes out of nowhere holding the actual Stanley Cup. And he's like, you guys want to hold it? And it was awesome, man. They took a picture with it. I was like, this is a great movie. Like, I don't know what this is. I don't know anybody in this movie, but this is a great movie. So that would have to be my highlight. That was a great museum. Man, it wasn't much Panther love in that museum, I will say.
Shame.
There was Connor McDavid every single turn that I looked. It was Connor McDavid all over the place. There we go.
Yeah, Connor's getting nightmares of his mask.
Shout out to Big Bob, Sergey Bobrovsky.
Boroki.
Yeah. That's the Cuban Hispanic way, Brandon, that we came up with while we were over there. But Bobrovsky. So yeah, it was great. Let's into bad news. Jonka, what do you got?
I'm gonna have to say it. I mean, I know we just finished All Star weekend for MLB. Man, I
I didn't even know that thing was on. I didn't even watch it.
no, that's that's a separate for another day. But there's still a chance that my Yankees make the World Series. But I think it's time for them to either whatever happens this year, World Series or not, fire Aaron Boone. I think he needs to go. He does not know what he's doing on the lineups. He makes these like decisions. He keeps getting thrown out of games. Although he doesn't mean it like in a bad way. He's protecting his players from bad calls, but at the same time, you got to maintain yourself on the field and manage the team. And you can't be doing that, getting thrown out every other game. So I think it's finally time for him to leave, no matter if they win or not this year. But when you have Aaron Judge and Juan Soto basically carrying the team, it's not enough.
Brandon?
Well, I actually had to switch my bad last second because I just saw the rankings for 100 through 91 for the NFL top players ranked by the players. I'm a little baffled with this one. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but they put down Aaron Rodgers, who's played maybe less than 5 snaps throughout the entire season last year.
A 91, right?
91. They put him 91. And mind you, guess where Trevor Lawrence was a starting quarterback for one of his better years? 94. So a guy that had about 5 snaps, torn Achilles, did apparently a better season than Trevor Lawrence throughout an entire year in the AFC South. The Jaguars in playoff contention.
Wait, is this listing based off of last year or overall? Like,
This is based on overall, and these are player rankings from that season. So this is based on what the players are like, who is the best guy rank-wise from last season. And apparently
okay,
Aaron Rodgers, I get it, Aaron Rodgers, right? I get it. But he didn't
How?
get to a full, 2 minutes.
How? Like,
That's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's sus.
Yeah, I was going
well,
to say that basically my worst thing potentially was in the league I'm in for college football. That had to go against number 4 Oregon to start it off. But this definitely beats the cake. This definitely beats the cake.
I gotta ask you, Brandon, because I think you have the new college football video game, right?
I absolutely 3 days early. I was the sucker that spent $100 on it.
So do
I have to ask you. I have to ask. Wait, Jonko, you got it too?
Yeah, my brother and my friend Michael are playing it right now.
I have to ask the both of you. How good is it?
Want to go first or?
I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10.
Look,
Listen, these offensive linemen have to be. I don't want to say an offensive word because people are watching, but they seem uneducated on what their job is supposed to be. I'll just leave it at that.
look, the fact that I have to keep up a GPA and at the same time keep myself on the field to make sure Aubrey's not messing up with my connection with coach. And also the fact that dynasty mode, look, Madden's like, oh, you just do free agency, let anything happen. No, I have to go out and recruit kids away from UM as FIU, trying to get 5 stars in, pray that Georgia doesn't sniff them out. It is like the best. Look, I have to say like this. I told Jock about this the other day. This and 2K14, these are the 2 best sports game I've ever experienced. College football through maybe 2 weeks time or whatever it is, or maybe a week or whatever that I played it. Best game I've had sports-wise so far.
Bro, my brother is playing with the FIU Panthers, bro. And the thing I love about this game is that they got the stadium and the outside of the stadium perfectly. They got the garage, the little tent on the side of the stadium on the top. Bro, yeah,
they got Tamiami Hall in the background.
Yes,
bro, it's ridiculous.
And the best part about it, they got the press box. I don't mean just any press box. They got the broadcast box for radio on the other side.
Facts.
Hey, I don't know, but I've been seeing a lot of people use FIU.
Yes, dude. It's honestly it's one of the hardest rebuilds because they're like a 77 overall. I don't want to say it's bottom 5, but it's close. It's close. I mean, they're bottom of the league in Conference USA.
Let me guess, Jonka, you were using the Hurricanes?
Obviously.
Well, that makes a lot of sense why the offensive line was not working.
No, it's not even just that. It's just like overall in general. No matter what team you use.
I think Brandon got caught onto the joke.
Way ahead of
Caught
you.
onto the joke.
Yeah, a lot of talent, a lot of good overalls in that running back room. Just that old line is,
Bro.
you got to get used to it.
All right.
Bro, they don't block.
To finish off, I'm not. Again, we don't really talk about this stuff on here, but I just had to mention because the stupidity of what I saw today was just absurd. I'm gonna say worst thing I saw had to come from today. An oversight committee asking questions to the director of the Secret Service. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see that, but all I can say, man, is how does this lady still have a job?
Mm.
Guys, I just think it's common sense, right? Like, how do you not have a person on that roof? Like, how do you not? And she came to this oversight committee today with nothing prepared, no answers, and she was absolutely grilled by some of these senators and representatives. It was bad. It was really bad. So I have to say that's the worst thing I saw. It was awful. Like, I felt bad for her. I mean, I don't feel bad for her, but at the same time, I was like, damn, like she's getting grilled right now. So it'd have to be that. But kicking off the show tonight, we got a lot of things to talk about. We got a great show for you guys. Talking about lists, as Brandon was talking about, we are going to talk about ESPN's top 50 athletes since 2000. I'll name you guys that top 50 right now. And let me tell you, when I saw this list at first glance, when it came out, I said, ESPN is supposed to be the worldwide leader of sports. What the hell did I just read on this list? So here we go. At number 1, they have Michael Phelps. At number 2, Serena Williams.
Okay.
At number 3, Messi. At number 4, LeBron James.
Okay.
At number 5, I can feel Brandon is not okay right now.
No. Go ahead.
Number 5, Tom Brady. Number 6, Roger Federer. Number 7, Simone Biles. Number 8, Tiger Woods. Number 9, Usain Bolt. Number 10, Kobe Bryant. Number 11, Novak Djokovic. Number 12, Rafa Nadal. Number 13, Cristiano Ronaldo. Number 14, Stephen Curry. Number 15, Katie Ledecky. 16, Tim Duncan. 17, Shaquille O'Neal. 18, Patrick Mahomes. 19, Lewis Hamilton. 20, Aaron Donald. 21, Diana Taurasi. 22, Sidney Crosby. 23, Kevin Garnett. 24, Albert Pujols. 25, Floyd Mayweather. 26, Peyton Manning. 27, Randy Moss. 28, Nikola Jokic. 19, Michael Schumacher. 30, Mike Trout. 31, Clayton Kershaw. 32, the Brazilian women's soccer player, Maita. 33, Miguel Cabrera. 34, Tamika Catchings. 35, Dwayne Wade. 36, Maya Moore. 37, Ichiro Suzuki. 38, Barry Bonds. 39, Kevin Durant. 40, Justin Verlander. 41, Dirk Nowitzki. 42, Giannis Antetokounmpo. 43, Alex Rodriguez. 44, Michaela Schifrin.
Who?
45, Michaela Schifrin is a skier.
Oh.
45, David Ortiz. 46, Max Scherzer. 47, Jimmy Johnson. But the NASCAR driver, not the coach. 48, Thierry Henry. 49, the Spanish women's soccer player Aitana Bonmati. And 50, Zinedine Zidane.
So Michael Phelps, let me get this straight. So Michael Phelps, who swims, my apologies, swims every once for 4 years. They put him above like Messi and LeBron.
I am insulted that Cristiano Ronaldo is at 13.
That's what you're insulted. I'm insulted they put Tim Duncan over Shaq.
That too. I read
I'm
that.
like, but everything's out of whack in this list.
You know what I'm also insulted about? Because this is a list of the top 50 since 2000. No Conor McGregor? Come on. Like you.
I mean, top 50 overall athlete, though. We're talking athletes since 2000.
Come on.
Conor was
in there.
Well, look, I'm gonna say this again. First time ever 2-belt type of guy in the UFC, but they put a lot of tennis. They put a lot, you know what I mean? So they had specific sports where they had like 4 to 5 titles they're battling for. A UFC guy who only fights maybe a handful of times. I don't know if they can maybe put that there for titles.
They put Mayweather.
They did, but Mayweather's. I mean, he went undefeated throughout the entire 2000s, basically.
They could have taken out Jokic and put in McGregor.
I think
Jokic is not athletic. He's not athletic.
Yeah, but he's still an animal. Like the guy's a monster, though.
Yeah, but recently.
Yeah.
Like 49, I love Bonmati. She's a great player. She won the Women's Ballon d'Or. She's a great player. But like, she really just started though. Like.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, what was Kobe Bryant's number again? 14, 13?
They got Zidane 50. Like, that is one of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird list.
You guys really put Kevin Durant at 39?
Honestly, I would have swapped Kevin Durant and Maya Moore, to be honest. I would have swapped them.
Man, I don't even know how they put Simone Biles over Kobe Bryant, but that's just me.
Yeah. No, I mean a big thing for Olympians. Apparently love Olympians at ESPN.
Bro, there's no way, bro. Arguably top 3 player all time, and you. There's no way, bro.
Bro, I'm even upset that they put LeBron above Tom Brady.
Bro.
Yeah,
I don't get it either, bro.
Yeah. I'm just more shocked. I'm just more shocked about the fact that Michael Phelps, as good as Michael Phelps is, top 5, but number 1? That's a tough one. I don't know.
And no disrespect, you guys really think you got Serena at 2?
No.
I would put her, you know what? She competed while pregnant. I'll put her at 2 just for that. Also, actually, one thing I want to do with check, though, because you said Tiger Woods made the top 10, right?
Tiger Woods number 8, yes.
8. So, Tiger Woods, what was the last time he won a major?
Bro, no Phil Mickelson? Like.
Yeah, that's what, there's been better golfers. Like, Koepka's been better, you know? Yeah. So, Tiger, again, as good as Tiger was in the early 2000s, for him to be, have a major championship for the past decade or something like that, there's no way.
Listen, there's an argument here because there's people that should not be here that just started in their careers. I know he's a little bit. This could be argumentative, but like Mbappe, two World Cup final appearances in a row, winning one of them. Like
that is true,
bro. Yeah. Like, come on, how is he not on the top 50 at the moment?
Yeah. And how did Giannis make it on there? Again, Giannis Antetokounmpo, generational MVP guy, but one chip, man, one chip. I don't know.
I know you started rolling your eyes when you heard Clayton Kershaw.
I don't hate it.
Do you really, Jonka? This is a good one for you, Jonka. Do you really agree with Mahomes over Lewis Hamilton? Hamilton's a 7-time world champion.
If this is including since 2000, from what they're saying, then you have to put Lewis over Pat Mahomes. You got to. But if it's for recency bias, then Mahomes, because he won 2 in a row and he's won 3 so far. I think it's 3.
Well,
yeah.
wait, hold up. Not only is he a 7-time world champion, 6 of them were in a row. That's crazy.
Yep.
Man, like what would be your guys' top 5 like that are straight?
Oh, I already got that in the back of my head. Actually, the one name I was really shocked I didn't hear before I even go into that was Derek Jeter even on that list. I heard Rodrigo.
He was not. And
They
they
didn't
put
put Derek.
A-Rod on it.
Yeah, they put A-Rod, but no deep. That's ridiculous. That's really ridiculous for Derek. But I think, personally, I would think top 5 since the 2000s. I think Kobe Bryant would literally open up the 2000th century with a triple 3 times titles. So Kobe will be on there. Messi will be on there. Honestly, I would put it this way. Messi 1, LeBron 2. I would put Federer. Actually, I'll put Novak. I'll put Novak at 3. I think Novak really had that in him. I put him at 3 over Federer. 4, I would go ahead, put down Shaq, just because I think Shaquille O'Neal, that's when he like exploded in his NBA career in the second half. And then 5, I mean, it has to be Tom Brady. It has to be Tom Brady. But still, I think Tom Brady, longevity-wise, being his entire career in the 2000s, I still don't think it's, crazy enough to compare to like a LeBron where he's like in a championship every 10 years straight or whatever,
If I had to do a top 5, number 1 would be Cristiano. Number 2 would be Messi. Number 3 would be Tom Brady. Number 4 would be Kobe. And number 5 would be LeBron. That would be my top 5. Jaka?
Man, for number 1, bro, that's who would I say is the thing is like I'm taking it as it's like a literal, like the best athlete. If I'm gonna say athlete, man, in no specific order because I can't really put them all in one, but I'm gonna have to say either LeBron, Ronaldo, Brady. Man, that's
No
tough.
Messi?
Wait, hold up. No, Messi's not that athletic to me. He's got the dribbling skills, but athletic wise,
Or putting Ronaldo in there. I mean, I know the guy has like 1% body fat, but still. Like,
Hey, Ronaldo, if he's not a soccer player, he could definitely play another sport.
oof, man, the other two, man, I guess you'd have to mix it up with a baseball player because there's no way I can leave out a baseball player out of the top 5 because to get a hit in baseball is like probably the hardest thing you could ever do.
oh yeah.
So, man, I'll put Derek Jeter. I have to put Derek Jeter just for the heck of it.
And you're right. That was a good catch, Brandon.
Yeah.
Well, they put Barry Bonds over Derek Jeter, and again, Bonds influential of the game, but come on,
And then I'll throw in Serena Williams in there just to have all inclusive.
Man, that's crazy. Man, you know what's even it's just so absurd to me. They have Marta from Brazil in there, but no Alex Morgan.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, that's
no U.S. national players at all.
Well, Carly Lloyd, no.
Not Abby Wambach.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the Heat are officially Summer League champions. If you guys
won in overtime.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, quick. I know we're not on the topic at all, but shout out Josh Christopher. Josh Christopher.
Well, look, he got the Summer League championship. I'm happy to say we equal the Celtics.
The Lakers fans are trying to tell me on Twitter with the in-season tournament. So I guess so.
All right, this is something that we need to talk about because this was very, very strange to me. And we're talking about that out of nowhere, just 4 months after signing with the Miami Dolphins, Shaquille Barrett has announced his retirement just days before training camp. What the heck just happened? John, you want to elaborate?
Brandon, the
No,
floor is
yeah.
yours.
No, yeah. This one, I've actually done a lot of research on this one. Because, of course, very shocking as it is, 2-time Super Bowl champ, former Pro Bowler. And honestly, the most, if not the biggest piece, the most vital piece, knowing that Phillips and as well as Chubb's not going to be active to start off training camp. He announced his retirement over social media, but I think the biggest thing about it, I was hearing a lot of things that it was because he wanted to be closer to like the family and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I believe, I don't know if this is rumored or not. I don't know if this is in fact or not, but this is according to his IG, it says that I'm ready to start building them up in my kids, talking about skills, and will take 100% commitment. I know to some it will be a surprise, but I've been thinking about this for a while, and the decision has never come more clear than it is now. I believe in the past there was something that happened to one of his children that caused him to be away from the game or something like that, or take his focus away from the game. I don't know exactly what it was, but at the same time, I mean, the guy's 31 years old. You know what I mean? So not a lot of NFL players even make it past 30 on some active rosters. But yeah, I think Barrett retiring definitely puts the Dolphins in a weird hole, but it does bring in some new questions. I think it's going to be really interesting to start training camp this weekend. Jordan Brooks is probably the most vital piece. I know I use that word a lot, but for a good reason. The most vital piece in training camp for the Dolphins linebacker room and pass rush room, because he does both in coverage and in blitz. One of the fastest guys out there. Great guy out of Seattle. And also Chop is going to have so many reps with the ones. And I mean, he might honestly, with Barrett being out, and who knows exactly what happens with Chubb and Phillips by the time the start of week one, Chop might be the week one starter through training camp if things go well for him. I think it's an insane move from Barrett, but again, you can't argue with family at 31 years old as an NFL player before he turns into Antonio Brown. But this definitely, I mean, I'm telling you right now, I have a really good feeling that Brooks and, David Long is obviously going to be there. Riley's going to be there. Duke Riley, veteran guys. But I think Chop has a great chance now with Barrett gone to start. I honestly think he has that type of potential now with this guy in training camp. So sad news from Barrett, but I think for Dolphin fans who love to see rookies play early in the preseason, this is huge.
I just think it's I mean, I get it. I get the whole thing, and I get that he's been thinking about it. But why sign? Why sign? But yeah, I'm gonna go to the Dolphins, blah blah blah. And I'm sure the organization understands. But on the other side, I'm also sure that they're probably thinking, "What the hell, dude? We're just like days away from training camp. We have you in this position, and we're going to be counting on you. And now, just days before training camp, we're left with a hole."
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I haven't really got much to say about it. I mean, it's unfortunate that he has to retire because I would have liked to have seen him on the Dolphins, at least help out a little bit, since Jalen Phillips got hurt and Van Ginkel, right?
Well, Van Ginkel went to Minnesota.
He left, yeah.
But
it was unfortunate, but it's just another bump on the road for the Dolphins as they usually have, and I just need to see how does Mike McDaniel address this absence that they have. Let's see what they do with the rookies. But man, these Dolphins, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Brandon. There's always something.
It's always something
from left from right.
And I gotta say one thing though, for Anthony Weaver, the new defensive coordinator for Miami, not a good start, and he hasn't even been on the field yet for camp.
Boy, get ready.
Yeah.
And with a new defensive coordinator too.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, man. Weaver's a good DC. Is he like Fangio? I don't know. We have to check his scheme, but They'll figure something out, I'm pretty sure. I mean, again, as long as Brooks, Robinson, and honestly, I would love to say Long, as long as those guys are healthy throughout training camp, there should be no issue. There should be no issue in coverage. Chop has that type of potential, and Chubb and Phillips, whenever they come back, they'll come back strong.
But do you think this is separate from the topic? But did do you think Vic Fangio was the fault for the fall last year, or was it because of the injuries? That's why they couldn't perform to what he wanted them to be.
Well, I've been a very big advocate of this, even when the injuries started happening. The Miami Dolphins, to end the year, faced the 3 hardest possible teams in the entire AFC. And this was a half of a roster. Chubb being gone, Mostert being gone for a majority of those games, coming back injured in tundra-like weather for Tua's first ever wild card game, let alone first ever playoff game. It was definitely the injuries, but I think Fangio as well. I mean, why the hell is Chubb in down 40 against Baltimore? You know, like what are we doing with that? So I think Fangio had some part of it though, but definitely more of the injuries than anything else. Like the talent we had guys coming off like less than a week in the building before we went to like Kansas City. So definitely injuries, but I think Fangio, poorly managed late in the year.
But before we get into the next segment, do you think the Dolphins need some sort of consistency on the coaching side to take that next step, that they have to at least win a playoff game? Because especially with this Tua news, he hasn't gotten his contract yet. It's getting.
Who, by the way, hosted a event at his house today for the entire team to get ready for the season training camp.
Yeah, and that is also really interesting though, because again, they're reporting tomorrow, not playing, of course. So he could just report, but then like be inactive and choose not to take part of activities Saturday when they get over to the Baptist Health. I think personally, the way that the organization is going through it is really, like, excuse my language, it's really fucking dumb. I have to say it as it is. You're trying to tell me you haven't had a quarterback since Dan Marino that was the guy for you. You have a top 5 draft pick that you were able to get in the first round from a national championship caliber team that has proven to have top guys in the NFL already. The passing yards leader has one of the best seasons anyone's going to have. Has progressed throughout his entire career. You put him through like 3 head cases, no pun intended. And because he hasn't won a playoff game yet. Okay, no one has for the past 23 years on the organization. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? You know what I mean? Like name me another quarterback besides Ryan Fitzpatrick that can match Tua's aura when he gets on the field. Like Jay Cutler? Like Ryan Tannehill with like one knee combined with a whole plate on his shoulder. There's just no way. So I think Tua, honestly, if Tua takes that field for training camp without a contract, I would lose my mind because it's unfair. It really is.
I think that if I were him, I'd feel disrespected because I feel like since the moment Tua entered the Dolphins and the moment he was drafted, he was put on like this probation of like, oh, you do one wrong pass, we're going to trade you.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, I would say it hasn't been that fair to him.
At this point, he has this season to prove if he's worth the money. And the thing is, if they don't at least show some sort of glimpse of a good future, if you can't win with Tyreek Hill and Waddle and all the fastest assortment of pieces around you, then you're never gonna win at all. So it's make it or break it right here this season, which I'm excited to see what the Dolphins are gonna be like, because they can be legit if they would just fix their crap
or just stay healthy,
or that too,
or just stay alive, basically, and hopefully not have the 3 hardest AFC teams possible to play against, including the Super Bowl champion.
Talking about Dolphins, their newest member, star and flashy wide receiver, Odell Beckham Jr., won. This time not on the field. He won in a courtroom. He had a lawsuit against Nike, and quote-unquote, supposedly he won the lawsuit. Nike has come out and said that they won the lawsuit. apparently that this case was settled as a draw, and both sides saw it as a victory. And well, let me break down what the lawsuit was about. Odell felt that Nike infringed on the contract and broke the contract and were not paying him any of the royalties that he deserved and that was stated on the contract. That was the lawsuit. Nike then filed a counter lawsuit towards Odell Beckham, saying that he specialized his gloves without Nike's permission. So that's what that's about. It was for $20 million. I mean, if you ask me my opinion on it, which it's pretty funny that both sides are taking victory. Nike said that they never infringed on his contract and that he was the one that did wrong by, customizing his Nike wide receiver gloves without permission. And, then you got Beckham who posted on Instagram with his team of lawyers, thanking God and thanking his lawyers for, helping him out, and the jury for, doing the right thing and standing up for justice. And he also took a jab at Nike's slogan, which is "Just Do It," and he put "Just Do Right." I don't know if I don't know if that's the end of the partnership with Nike. I mean, I would think so. You took him to court for $20 million, and then you diss him on Instagram after. I would think that would probably be the end of the partnership by Odell Beckham in Nike. But what do you guys think about this whole lawsuit going back and forth between Beckham and Nike?
I think it was really just like the brand itself of both of them, right? I mean, they're both like their own brands. They're both their own individuals in one way. One being a company, of course, the other one being an athlete that's recognizable anywhere. But definitely for Odell Beckham, he did what he had to do. I'm definitely siding with Odell on this one. If you're not being paid fairly, then yeah, they should probably pay you fairly. There's no question about that. I know also in the news as well, Kevin Durant was kind of pissed off because he wasn't included in the recent Nike commercial. And, that's all another thing where Nike, actually, funny enough, I was actually reading the Phil Knight memoir that basically talks about him living in Oregon, all that stuff, Nike, whatever. And a lot of the times is, he first was looking at athletes. I want to endorse athletes, whatever I can, da-da-da. Now it's kind of becoming this thing where, he's putting the product in front of it. Not even putting marketing with the athletes, even though Nike is his own thing. The athletes want to be Nike. So it's definitely a loss for Nike. Even if it is a settlement is a win for Odell. And this might not be the only time we see a lawsuit coming their way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would have to side with Odell, because we know how these corporations are. I just would not be surprised that they snubbed him of the royalties. And now I know some people will say, why does he need the money? He's filthy rich. Why does he need the money from the contract? He's just being greedy. Well, let me ask you, folks, when you sign a contract and they don't pay you, wouldn't you be upset? I would. If I signed a contract and I'm wearing all this gear, I would be upset if they're not paying me my money. Because then what's the point? The company's only benefiting from my talent and from me wearing their stuff. So, I'm going to have to side with Odell on this one, because I could see Nike doing something like that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with both of you. I mean, I know Odell has a past of being a little bit on the crazy side and having little tantrums. But, yeah, if you're not paying me the money that I'm supposed to be getting, and I got bills to pay, I got families to feed, and you got lawyers to pay, especially with this now, it adds up. So whatever money I could possibly be getting could be going towards my family or my life and whatever I need to do to continue my career. So yeah, that's something you don't mess with. And Nike, obviously being a multi-billion-dollar company, I mean, it just seems like they're just fighting just to not look dumb. or just not to look greedy or something, just to like pretend like protect ourselves in the lawsuit. But it's I don't even know why this is even going on at this point. Like just for writing, just do right, or I don't even know, bro. I, this is news to me. What like the moment Daniel started talking, I was just like, okay, this is the first time I'm hearing this breaking news. But I mean, congratulations for Odell getting the draw and the settlement. No winners, no losses. So both leave amicably. Now I just hope Odell could just focus on the Dolphins so that they don't have another losing season.
It wasn't a losing season. 4
Hey,
straight winning seasons. No
hey,
playoff win. Big difference.
no AFC championship, no AFC East championship. Don't talk to me. I didn't say anything.
Oh my gosh.
Listen,
All right. From the Patriot fan.
that is true. Patriot fan in Miami.
Hey, Cowboy fan in Miami.
That's not, and you know good and hell well that is not as bad as being a Patriots fan in Miami.
Doesn't matter to me.
Brandon, am I right on that?
Look, as a Celtic fan of Miami,
None of us could.
yeah,
We're
I
all,
can't even say a word. I can't even say a word.
we're a beautiful triangle.
Yeah. It's always one sport with everyone. It's always one sport.
But you know what? I think I'm the least of them though, because at least my team isn't rivals with any of the teams here. So
No, that's true. And
I
also,
guess.
your team hasn't really been in the news lately besides free agency. So, yeah, that's probably another thing.
yeah, I'm not even gonna get mad about that. It is true. I mean, I can't say anything about that. But to end off this segment, I will say, ladies and gentlemen, dreams do come true. A lady once sued McDonald's for her coffee being too hot, and she won. And she won big. And she took home a lot of money. So, moral of the story is, guys.
Sue people.
Well, no. That's not what
Don't
I'm
be
saying.
afraid to sue.
Don't be afraid to sue the big guy.
Oh, yeah.
If you have evidence, don't be afraid.
Facts.
Going into our next topic, this one is very interesting. On a podcast, Dwayne Wade says he would have taken Michael Jordan's throne if it wasn't for the injuries. And before we get into it, let's look at the stats between Michael Jordan and Dwayne Wade. When we talk NBA championships, Michael Jordan, of course, has 6. Dwayne Wade has 3. When we talk about NBA seasons played, Jordan played 15 seasons. Wade played 16 seasons. The playoffs. Michael Jordan played in the playoffs 13 times. Dwayne Wade also played in the playoffs 13 times. All-Star games. Jordan played 14 of them. Wade played 13 of them. We're talking about MVPs. Jordan won 5 of them. Wade did not win any MVPs, which, in my opinion, he should have gotten 2009. Should have gotten 09. But anyways, Finals MVP. Jordan won all 6 Finals MVPs. Dwayne Wade won 1 in 2006. We talk about All NBA First Team. Michael Jordan was an All NBA First Team 10 times. Dwayne Wade just twice. All NBA team selection. Michael Jordan 11. Dwayne Wade 8. All defensive first team. Michael Jordan 9 times. Dwayne Wade 0. We talk about all defensive team selections. Michael Jordan 9 times. Dwayne Wade 3. Defensive Player of the Year. Michael Jordan 1. Dwayne Wade 0. Scoring leader. Michael Jordan 10. Dwayne Wade just once. Steals leader. Michael Jordan 3. Dwayne Wade 0. And, of course, Rookie of the Year. Michael Jordan won Rookie of the Year. And Dwayne Wade did not. Obviously, that went to LeBron James. Then we look at the stats per game. Points per game. Michael Jordan averaged 30 per game. Dwayne Wade just 22. Rebounds per game. Jordan averaged 6.2 rebounds a game. Wade just 4.7. Assists per game, Jordan 5.3, Wade 5.4. Very close there. Steals per game, Jordan 2.3, Wade 1.5, and blocks per game 0.8 and 0.8. So there is a lot more stats here. I won't go over them unless you guys want me to, but what do you guys think of this?
No need to go any more stats. No need to go any more stats. I
We already know
think,
the answer.
yeah, we already got the answer. I think that, as weird as it may sound, because again, I think the biggest thing is that Dwayne Wade, obviously, a lot of people argue for him a top 3 shooting guard all time, maybe top 5, whatever. I'm gonna just keep it very, very real. Has Dwayne Wade ever been the best player in a season throughout his entire NBA career?
Best player in a season?
Throughout his entire NBA career. Now, also, to add on to that, has he ever been the vocal point of a team down to a championship run, which he has before once, but compared to Jordan 6 times, points per game, 30 points per game, left the league twice while he was still actively an athlete playing baseball, comes back into the league, does another three-peat for his second retirement. My apologies, first retirement now, mind you. How many times can I say that Michael Jordan, even outside of the game, was still the best in the game? And Dwayne Wade was jumping around different teams here and there and started depleting as that. I think that when you look at Michael Jordan, you look at an offensive firepower, but you also look at a fierce competitor, something that, as well defensively, that Dwayne Wade can argue about as, you know, one of the best shot blocking shooting guards of all time. Yeah, Michael Jordan would still lock guys up in his time. He would still be a machine on both ends of the floor in his time. He would lead an all Hall of Fame team in his time, which Wade has done once in 06. And I guess you can argue as well for the Miami Heat 2012, 2013. But how can this be a case for Dwayne, though? I mean, Dwayne Wade, what are you doing? What are you doing talking like that on a podcast about Michael Jordan?
You're saying that if he was healthy, if injuries were never a problem in his career, he still would not have reached.
I think if Michael Jordan did not retire in the middle of his career, then come back, I think the Houston Rockets would not even have a championship in the 90s.
I can agree with that.
Each one being when Jordan was gone.
Yep.
So, personally, Dwayne Wade, if he ever watches this podcast, I hope you know that you are a top 75 player, a top player all time. But don't talk about Michael Jordan. Even with injuries or without injuries, there's just no way. All right? There's just no way.
I agree he's better than James Harden. But
yeah, we agree on that.
Yeah. As much as I love the guy, there's no way in hell. I mean, it's like I understand why he would say it because he thinks he's similar in play style to him, but in achievement wise, if he would have been healthy, he would have had to win 3 more rings and average just as many stats, as many MVPs, as many scoring champs, all defensive. It doesn't really matter what he would have done, even if he would have had 8 championships. Yeah. I don't think that would still puts him over MJ. Like, it's not enough. No.
Not even that. He'll have to be the leading scorer on his team compared to MJ. And what was the leading scorer on the Miami Heat every single time Dwayne Wade was in a successful season? Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James. I mean, Jordan's Jordan. It didn't matter if Scottie Pippen was out there giving the best he can every single day. There's no way you're going to outscore Jordan. There's no way you're going to outplay Jordan. So I think Dwayne Wade, as good as he is, I just can't see it.
I do think at one point he was, at least 1 year. I still give him 09. I still think 09 he was the best player in the league. I think he got robbed of that MVP. But to say, again, the comparison with Jordan, I don't think so. I think personally the only player that has come close to Jordan, in my opinion, is Kobe Bryant.
No, yeah. I mean, he's basically, a replication of him, So,
If Dwayne would have kept up what he did from 2006 after that championship and maintained that and continued doing what he did, maybe he would have an argument.
yeah. I think because again, that was a really, really, as funny as it is, Dwayne Wade young, but the roster old. Like Gary Page,
Yep.
O'Neal, White Chocolate Williams, all that. I think Bibby as well was on that one last year's. Like, if that roster was similar to like where the Heat, LeBron James, Chris Bosh roster was, where it's like guys in their prime or it's just young, where they can like run it back, then yeah, I mean, Dwayne Wade might honestly have, and again, this is hypothetically, but he might have like at least 5 championships under his belt if it was a young roster to run it back with. But literally the next year they got rid of Shaq, so you can't really say championship wise. But I know for a fact though, play wise, Jordan's light years ahead.
I agree. As much as I love Dwayne and thank him for everything he's done for the city of Miami, I can't give it to him. I can't. Even with the hypothetical question that he was posing, if he was healthy, and what's funny is that, I mean, I can't remember who was one of the guys on there. I know the other person was Carmelo Anthony, and the other person and Carmelo both started cracking up, and they were like, "No, man, like we're not like making fun of you. It's not, we're not offending you, but like, man, like you're talking crazy right now." and respect to D Wade. He said he's like, "No, man, I just have the confidence and belief in myself that if I was healthy, I could have gotten there." Credit to him for having the confidence. But that's our job as sports analysts and sports commentators to talk and what have you. And nah. No.
Sorry, bud.
Well, last topic of the night. The United States played South Sudan, down 16 points, come up with a victory given to us by LeBron James, 101-100. They are also in a close game tonight with Germany, which they ended up winning with another LeBron James game winner. Should we be concerned about Team USA from what we saw against that game against South Sudan, which would have been a historic upset?
Look, I think it's the most coolest thing. Again, South Florida-based blog, Luau Deng, being basically the GM of the South Sudan team. It doesn't get better than that. It doesn't get better than that. Then 5 to 6, 7'2" guys. One of them being a high schooler that's coming to Duke as we speak, knocking down like 60% of their 3-point shots throughout the entire first half. I wouldn't say that it's a concern for the United States because we also have to consider that Kevin Durant wasn't even part of this roster. He's hurt right now. He's going to be ready for Paris, though.
Yeah.
But I think it's also a wake-up call. I think the United States and as well United States basketball for both men's and women has to realize the game internationally has progressed much further than anybody is expected to be at this point. I mean, South Sudan, like Canada. Canada literally beat us in the FIBA World Cup the other year. And again, we didn't have our best guys in there, but we had all NBA guys in there. So I think that personally, like, again, LeBron saved us in the last quarter. But at the same time, we came back alone in the third and took a 5 to 6 point lead in the third quarter against South Sudan. I think there's nothing to really worry about for the United States. But for the way that we have played through the 5 exhibition games, have won close through a majority of them, we've also lost 20 to 15 to 10 point leads in more than half of them. Yeah. So it's not a concern, but I definitely do feel like they don't know what the roster looks like yet. And I don't think Steve Kerr even knows what to do with the team yet. So not bashing Steve Kerr, but personally, I think Coach Cave, after his retirement from the program, Eric, and again, I think you guys would really like this take. This is a hot take. I really do believe Eric Spoelstra should have been the head coach, if not Greg Popovich, for the U.S. national team instead.
I agree 1,000%. I agree.
I think I think that if you look at, and again, I love college coaches coming in there and changing the program because Coach K was the only college coach to really go in there and like make it into a college program where it's like nationality over just being egos. But I think Eric Spoelstra and that Miami Heat culture that everyone talks about, it's real. It's a real thing. I think that he goes over there. LeBron knows exactly what his entire playbook might be like. He knows exactly how to deal with superstars on a team. But at the same time, he knows how to get the most grit out of a team. So I love the entire coaching roster of it. But I think, honestly, if there is going to be any concern, it's not on the court. It's on the coach's bench for the U.S. team.
Jonka?
I'm not concerned at all. I just think they're just going with the motions at this point. I think they're just waiting for the Olympics to officially start, and then they're gonna put the pedal to the metal. Like you said, they've been losing these big leads. I'm not concerned. The only thing I would say that they need to fix is take out Joel Embiid,
Yeah,
and start either Bam or AD. Like
I agree.
Embiid is too slow for these really fast young guys from all these other countries.
Olympic basketball is fast.
it is.
Yeah,
fast.
Embiid is
It's
too
more
slow.
aggressive.
Yeah.
So you gotta take out Embiid, maybe put him in. If you need to go big, then go big. But yeah, that's the only thing I would say. I'm not concerned with this team, bro. You got LeBron, you got Curry, you got everybody else, bro. Like I'm not concerned at all.
Yeah,
We're
first
gonna
country
win
Tatum.
it. Gold medal, here we come, boy.
Listen, I just don't want a catastrophe to happen as it did in 2004.
Like Jason
That's
Kidd's
what I
not
want
on our
to see.
team. Jason Kidd and Vince Carter are not our best players. All right. This is, I think that, again, as I mentioned before, the game is definitely involved.
Yeah.
The best part about this year's Olympics, we're not in the group of death anymore. That's all our main enemies are there. Canada's there. France is there. And yes, I think South Sudan, if I remember right. I got to double check on the groups for the Olympics. But our biggest competition will basically kill themselves through group stage.
So, I'm going to look at the schedule here. First game is July 28th, 11:15 a.m. Eastern against Serbia, which unfortunately Jovic will not be playing due to injury. He will be missing the Olympics. Then, of course, South Sudan in our group. That will be interesting, I will say. On this one, I know that Brandon's going to be paying a close attention to this one. August 3rd, 11:15 a.m. Eastern, the U.S. against Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And we're going to be paying attention to that, especially for me and Brandon as FIU guys. Carlos Arroyo will be there with Puerto Rico, and that will be definitely fun to watch. But yeah, those are our three games: Serbia, South Sudan, and Puerto Rico. From my end, I don't like seeing the close games before the Olympics, but I also know that these guys are probably not. I'm probably going 50% right now. And once the tournament starts, all jokes aside, we're going 100%. And I don't really have a doubt right now that the U.S. Is going to take the gold medal. But yeah, it can get a little uncomfortable seeing how close these games can get coming up to the tournament. But as of right now, no alarms, no panic for me for the U.S. Anyways, that is the time we have tonight here on Plug Talk Sports, episode 146. I thank you guys for tuning in week, week out. It was great to be back with the guys on this Monday night. Make sure you tune in to all of our social media. You tune in to our website and get all that content that you guys need. And we'll see you guys next week for episode 147. We hope that you have a great night. Again, thank you for the support. And have a great rest of your week.
Support the troops.